So I have something on my mind today. I see comments like this a lot. If you start going to a chiropractor, you have to go back forever. And I just kind of want to give my thoughts on that because, it is a sensitive topic. I think it's an important one to talk about and just kind of like share my insights. By the way, if you didn't know, I sell my own CBD cream. Just want to throw that in there. If you get adjusted once, you have to go back forever. It's a tricky, sensitive topic, like I said. Think about it like this. You go to the dentist, right? They clean your teeth out. They tell you need to floss every day. They tell you that you suck because you don't floss. Don't eat these types of foods, whatever. What do they tell you at the end? Twice a year? Once a year? Yeah, you gotta keep going back, right? You gotta keep brushing your teeth. What about haircuts? When I go get a haircut, my hair probably lasts about 3 or 4 weeks before I need to get another haircut. I'm not trying to compare haircuts to chiropractor visits. I just want to give you guys a sense of like where I come from, my philosophy on what I do. My business name is Clean Spine. What I do is I go up and down your spine and I try to clean it out. And the way I see arthritis that, other providers say is normal as you age, I see it as just a bunch of gunk that has built up over the years because nobody's cleaned it out. It's kind of like, tartar buildup in your teeth. If you don't get it cleaned out every now and then, yeah, you're gonna have a bunch of gunk in your teeth that you can't really get when you floss. Or if you just brush and you don't even floss. And another example I wanted to give is exercising. Do you have to exercise once? Or do you keep going back? Keep that in mind. Somebody else brings that up like, oh, if you go to a chiropractor, you have to go back all the time. Yeah, maybe. It doesn't have to be all the time. If you get a good treatment, and I think a lot of my patients could vouch for that, they want to go back. It's up to me to teach them why I think they need to come back once a year or 4 times a year. And the normal patient of mine, if everything is good and their goals aren't necessarily to feel good every day, they just want to maintain a healthy, hydrated spine as they age, I put them in a 1 to 4 times a year category. And I don't think that's a lot. I think that's fine. A lot of my patients come in once a year. They understand that they're coming in to get a deep cleaning of their spine, basically. And they feel better after. And it makes sense. I don't want them to see my treatment as, oh, if I missed my treatment, I'm screwed. I'm gonna have pain forever. No, I tell them what they need to do in the meantime to maintain their spine. And if they don't do it, then, it's up to me to clear it out when they get here and make sure I reiterate that they need to walk, they need to hydrate, they need to eat healthy, they need to exercise, they need to sleep well, they need to get sunlight, they need to smile. All those things come into play when it comes to spine health. There's a lot of providers out there, chiropractors especially, that it's not that they're messed up, and I have a separate video talking about this, but they want you to come back 2-3 times a week and for 4 or 5 months, something crazy like that. I'm not a huge fan of it, but as long as it helps the patient and it makes sense and it's within the patient's budget, I'm okay with it. I just, there's certain things that I don't agree with. I'm not necessarily saying it's the wrong way to do things, but I can kind of see why people, they might go in for a simple neck pain, and they might be going to the chiropractor 3 times a week for like 3-4 months. And that's probably where that question stems from. I'm trying to change that way of thinking with the younger chiropractors coming up right now. A lot of them, I mentor them and they come in and they're like, yeah, your philosophy makes sense. I really like that. We're trying to maintain your spine as you age. So hopefully, my goal is to promote my profession to the highest level on a global scale. If there's anyone out there that wants to know like how I address that question, it's basically, you don't have to go forever, but some people might want to, and it makes sense to me to want to go at least once a year to get your spine cleaned out, because trust me, I feel what it feels like to go 50 years without getting a proper adjustment. It does not feel good. A lot of people see my videos on here and they think that everybody's like cracks really easily, everything feels good. No, man, my normal patients, they're in their 50s, 60s, stressed out, man, that are stiff. They need help. The adjustments don't always go perfectly. There aren't a bunch of laughs and fun stuff going on and cracks everywhere. Sometimes it doesn't crack because there's so much gunk in there that has turned basically to rust. And it doesn't allow for your spine to move in that area. And that area will in turn get dehydrated because no blood, no nutrients can get into that spot to hydrate it and to make it in a sense, lubricated. Clean it out. That's pretty much how I address it. If I'm feeling a little frisky, you know, I'll say like, well, do you just work out once? Do you just practice golf once? Do you get a haircut once? Do you go to the dentist once? Wellness is about consistency. You know, do you eat healthy once and then you're done forever? No, it doesn't work like that. Good things take time and consistency. I tell my patients they do need to come back for the rest of their lives. But I don't say it like that. I just say 1 to 4 times a year. You know, is that so bad? 1 to 4 times a year to reiterate to your mind that you're practicing good health, you're taking care of your spine, you feel better, you sleep better. It's just that positive reinforcement that you're doing something for yourself, because, you know, we've all been there. Life is stressful. Sometimes we don't really make time for ourselves. Going to the dentist twice a year, when I do that, I feel good about myself. I'm like, yes, I did it. I finally did it. And then I go like 2 years without doing it. And then I'm like, dang it, I forgot. Don't tell my dentist that. I saw a comment today. It happens all the time. Maybe this video will kind of help clear up some questions for some people out there. And yeah, that's my goal for it. So yeah, I'm gonna go now.